For now, the yen has received short-term support, but the bigger question remains whether this intervention can change the long-term direction of Japan's currency.
All right, let's move on from talking about the Japanese yen to something that is even bigger. Capital One is pushing back against a lawsuit filed by the Trump Organization, saying its decision to shut down hundreds of accounts was based on anti-money laundering concerns and not politics.
Let's take you back to January 2021. The U.S. Capitol riot triggered heightened scrutiny across the financial system over client risk and compliance. By March of that year, Capital One informed the Trump Organization that it would close more than 300 associated accounts following an internal review. Over the following months, and the bank proceeded with the account shutdowns. And then coming to 2025, the Trump Organization, along with Eric Trump, filed a lawsuit, alleging the decision was politically motivated and amounted to debanking. Now, in current times, in 2026, Capital One is defending its actions in court, saying that the account closures were based on compliance reviews following months of internal review by compliance experts.
In a new court filing, Capital One argues that its actions were driven by standard anti-money laundering, or AML, procedures. The bank says its internal team conducted a detailed review of the accounts in line with regulatory guidance before deciding to terminate the relationship. While Capital One has not accused the Trump Organization of illegal activity, it says the decision was based on risk assessments tied to financial compliance.
Now, this marks the first time a bank has formally linked the closure of Trump-related accounts to potential money laundering concerns, even indirectly. Capital One is now seeking to have the case dismissed, maintaining that its actions were lawful and rooted in compliance obligations, not political considerations.
All right, and to talk more about that, our colleague Susan Teherani has more details from New York.
A legal battle over politics is now raising new questions about banking compliance. Capital One says it didn't shut down more than 300 Trump Organization accounts in 2021 because of politics, but because of concerns identified by its anti-money laundering team after months of internal review. The filing is significant because it's the very first time a major bank has publicly linked anti-money laundering concerns to the Trump family business, although the bank does stop short of accusing the company of any wrongdoing. The Trump Organization argues the accounts were closed as part of politically motivated debanking following the January 6th Capitol attack. Well, Capital One says that that decision was not based on politics. The case now heads back to federal court, where the judge will decide whether the lawsuit can move forward or not. Susan Teherani reporting from New York for WION World This One.